You almost certainly own at least one box of this fine, powdery substance. It usually sits forgotten in the back of your kitchen pantry for months on end, until you desperately need it to save a batch of baked goods or a severely scorched, greasy pan. Millions of Americans rely on baking soda every single day. But ultimately, what exactly is this powder, and where does its sheer power come from? How can this simple alkaline salt intervene in almost every single mess of modern life? Let's uncover the mystery behind the silent miracle sitting in your kitchen. We call it baking soda. In reality, its scientific name is sodium bicarbonate, or NaCO3. Depending on where you live, it goes by countless other names: E500, bicarb, bread soda, or saleratus. Most of us assume this pure white powder is a man-made artificial product, born inside some sterile laboratory. But the truth is the exact opposite. The origin of the powder currently deodorizing your sneakers actually comes from a place far more distant and unforgiving. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Egyptians used a naturally occurring sodium-rich mineral called natron. This mineral was harvested from the bottoms of completely dried-up lake beds. They didn't use it for baking. They used it as a wildly powerful drying and cleansing agent during the mummification process. But how did a material used for mummies end up inside American kitchens? To understand this, we have to travel back to northwestern Colorado and the Green River Basin in Wyoming. Buried deep beneath American soil are massive mineral deposits known as trona and nautilite. These aren't your average rocks. They are the remnants of prehistoric saltwater lakes that evaporated millions of years ago. Trona is mined, refined into soda ash, and only then manufactured into the white powder you use. Nautilite, on the other hand, is a naturally occurring mineral so incredibly pure that it requires virtually zero chemical processing. Millions of years of geological history, all neatly condensed, fitting perfectly right into the palm of your hand for just a few bucks. But the path that turned this mineral into a global commercial commodity was by no means peaceful. It was bloody and full of tragedy. The true story begins in 1791. Nicolas Leblanc, a French chemist, was the absolute first genius to successfully isolate baking soda from soda ash. He unlocked a brand new era, but history is rarely kind to pioneers. The French Revolution exploded. His factory and his entire patent were completely confiscated by the new revolutionary government. Even though Napoleon later returned his property, it was far too late. Leblanc was completely bankrupt. He could not raise enough capital to start over. Desperate and pushed into a corner, this genius died by suicide in 1806, a deeply dark beginning for the most household-friendly item on the planet. But here is the real surprise. It wasn't until 1846, right here in America, that the history of that iconic orange box was officially written. Two brothers-in-law, Dr. Austin Church and John Dwight, literally formulated the very first batches of baking soda right inside their own kitchen. They started out with a small-scale, home-based production, laying the foundation for the legendary Arm & Hammer brand. From one tiny kitchen, they revolutionized the way the entire country of America cooks and cleans. To quench the global thirst for this product, manual production inevitably had to step aside for massive industrial machinery. In the 1860s, the Solvay process, or ammonia soda process, was born. It was like literal industrial magic. They combined table salt, limestone, ammonia, and carbon dioxide. This reaction didn't happen in little pots. It was violently baked inside giant vacuum towers at temperatures reaching up to 1,562 degrees Fahrenheit. These machines act like high-tech pressure cookers, responsible for 3/4 of the entire global supply of soda ash, and its filtration process is incredibly masterful. The initial mineral slurry only contains 40% sodium bicarbonate. They feed it into an ultra-high-speed centrifuge called a hydroclone to ruthlessly wring out the water. The result? A wet cake containing 95% pure baking soda. Dry powder is continuously mixed in to drive the moisture content down to a mere 3%. A monumental mechanical process designed to churn out roughly 2 million tons of baking soda globally every single year. But why on earth do we need 2 million tons of an inanimate powder? Where does its true power lie? Baking soda is mildly alkaline, clocking in at a pH level of 8.5. Its most miraculous capability is what science calls a buffering agent. Put simply, it possesses the ability to forcefully bend its surrounding environment to its own rules. If it encounters a highly acidic solution, it drags the pH up. If it encounters a highly basic solution, it drags the pH down. Its ultimate goal? It constantly maintains everything in a state of absolute perfect balance, hovering around a pH of 8.1. This sheer brilliance is exactly why people dump a cup of baking soda down their toilets every week. It establishes a stable pH buffer zone, protecting the lives of the beneficial bacteria working deep inside your septic tank. But that isn't all. Do you hate those stubborn, baked-on grease stains on your stove? Most of us do. The moment you sprinkle baking soda onto that grease, a chemical reaction known as saponification immediately takes place. Because it is highly basic, it shatters the structural bonds of the fat and literally turns the grease into soap. That's right. It turns your worst enemy into its own cleaning agent. At the exact same time, its microscopic crystals act like invisible sandpaper, lifting away the grime without ever scratching the surface. An unbelievably elegant solution. And this is exactly why your mom always keeps a box sitting in the fridge. Foul odors are born from two sources: acidic, like spoiled yogurt or pickles, and basic, like rotting fish or ammonia. Standard commercial air fresheners simply mask the stench with a heavy perfume. But baking soda is different. It neutralizes both the acids and the bases, thus eradicating the foul odor at its very root. Dump a little bit into the bottom of your trash can, and the stench instantly drops by 70%. Wrap 2 tablespoons in a cheesecloth and stuff it inside your sneakers, and the stink completely vanishes. Mix 1 cup of baking soda with 1 cup of vinegar, pour it down your drain, cover it with a damp cloth, and then flush it with hot water. Your plumbing will be spotlessly clean. Or even try soaking your heavily tarnished silverware in an aluminum pan filled with 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1/2 cup of white vinegar, and boiling water. It takes exactly 1 minute, and the tarnish magically transfers straight from the silver right onto the aluminum. But here's the part that surprises almost everyone. First, let's clear up a classic mix-up. Baking soda and baking powder are absolutely not the same thing. Baking powder is actually baking soda that has been pre-mixed with a dry acid and cornstarch to prevent the reaction from happening too early. The power gap between them is massive. Pure baking soda is 3 to 4 times stronger than baking powder. Just 1/4 teaspoon of soda packs the exact same punch as 1 full teaspoon of baking powder. Do not overdose it. It will make your baked goods taste bitterly soapy or cause them to puff up massively and then collapse miserably. Renowned chef Michael Solomonov always uses baking soda when boiling chickpeas. Why? Because the sodium ions in this compound actively kick the calcium ions out of the pectin, the cellular cement that holds plant cells together. When the pectin structure is loosened, the beans become incredibly tender without falling apart. Potatoes also utilize this exact principle to roast up infinitely crispier. Or take a little trick from cookbook author Marion Cunningham. Add a tiny pinch of baking soda into creamy tomato soup. It instantly neutralizes the acid of the tomatoes, protecting the casein proteins in the milk, keeping the soup from ever curdling. Or how chef Nick Sharma often sprinkles a tiny bit into his morning coffee to kill the acidity and prevent acid reflux. However, The story of this magnificent powder doesn't stop at the kitchen door. There is a fact very few people notice. When the temperature crosses the 122 degrees Fahrenheit mark, baking soda doesn't need any catalyst at all. It automatically decomposes due to the heat. During this process, it yields sodium carbonate, unleashes a massive amount of CO2 gas, and produces water. The CO2 gas, being heavier than air, blankets the surface, completely suffocating the oxygen. The water produced drags the temperature of the flames right below the ignition point. That is exactly why it is incredibly effective at putting out electrical fires or grease fires in a frying pan. Many commercial dry chemical fire extinguishers today use baking soda as their core ingredient. It seeps right into our bodies. It is in whitening toothpaste. Mix 1/2 teaspoon with 4 ounces of water, and you instantly have an ultra-cleansing mouthwash. Dissolve 1/2 teaspoon into a half glass of water, and it completely wipes out heartburn and acid reflux. But be careful. The massive amount of sodium inside can cause a physiological imbalance in your body if abused. Got a sunburn or a bug bite? A thick paste made of 3 parts baking soda and 1 part water will soothe the skin instantly. Even back in 1927, the Journal of Chemical Education noted that combining it with iodine could prevent the common cold. On a global scale, it is an environmental warrior. Coal-fired power plants use it to neutralize massive toxic emissions. In national libraries, they use it to preserve fragile ancient books, halting the acid in the paper from degrading any further while simultaneously sucking out the musty smell. At home, and it washes pesticides off apple skins far more effectively than any overpriced commercial produce wash. Americans love it so much, they even dedicated December 30th every year as National Bicarbonate of Soda Day. An absolutely perfect time to cure that post-holiday indigestion after stuffing your face with too much turkey and heavy roasts. So there you have it. From the bottom of prehistoric dried-up lakes, through the bloodshed of the French Revolution, all the way to 1,500-degree industrial vacuum towers. Baking soda isn't just a baking ingredient. It is a monumental testament to humanity's ability to understand and manipulate the most fundamental chemical laws of the universe. A single, unadulterated ingredient, yet elegant enough to bake a flawless cookie and ruthless enough to tear apart the internal organs of a cockroach. The next time you open your fridge and see that humble little orange cardboard box, remember this. You aren't just looking at a deodorizer. You are looking at millions of years of geological history and one of the greatest chemical compounds humanity has ever unearthed.